Okay, so let's cover exam 2 that we had this semester. For each word problem, answer your question with a sentence and correct unit. So if you didn't answer in a sentence format, you lost 1 point for each problem that required that. And then correct units as well was another 1 point. 8 points is Olivia opened a new bank account, depositing a check for $298. That means it's a positive of $298 in her account. She then made several withdrawals of 56, 29, and 72 before depositing another check for 197. That's a positive because we're depositing the money into the account. So if instead of having the negative with parentheses, it's okay as long as instead you had negative 56, negative 29, and negative 72 when you set that up. It's one of the two ways. All right, so then I just need to calculate what this is. So it's 56 plus 29 plus 72. And that is what? 15, 16, 17, 5, 6, 7, 8, 15, 157. And so that's 298 minus 157 plus 197. When you combine these numbers, you're going to get 338. So final answer, it needs to be a sentence with correct units, is Olivia now has, don't forget your dollar sign, $338 in her account. That's your answer. All right, let's look at Hannah. Hannah is in a submarine. Oh, we need some water here. So Hannah's in a submarine, 1,600 feet below sea level. So from here to here is 1,600 feet. She is communicating with Jordan, who is flying 22,500 feet in the air. Okay, this is not going to be built to scale. So we'll say that Jordan is up here and flying 22,500 feet in the air directly above Hannah's submarine. So from the water, top of the water to the air is 22,500 feet. How far is the communique traveling? So we just need to add up these two distances. So 22,500 plus 1,600, 2, 3, 4. So the communique, or communication, if you wanted to say that, was fine. Communique is traveling, I'm just using their words, 24,100, and don't forget the unit feet because they're all measured in feet. All right, let's go to the next one. We've got 2 points for -3 in parentheses cubed, which that means -3 times -3 times -3. That's what -3 cubed means. So 3 times 3 is 9. A negative times a negative is a positive. So 9 times -3, 9 times 3 is 27. A positive times a negative is a negative. All right, now we have -3 squared. Well, this is a -1 basically times 3 squared, which is 3 times 3. All right, so -1, I'm just going to leave it as a negative, and then 3 times 3 is 9. 0 divided by 6 is just 0. Okay, and 8 divided by 0 is undefined or does not exist. All right, number 5, simplify. -2 minus a -3 minus 3 minus a -6. So I'm going to deal with what's inside the parentheses first. I've got these two negatives right next to each other, so that becomes -2 plus 3, still in parentheses, minus, I'm going to leave parentheses. These also become positive, so that's 3 plus 6. Okay, -2 plus 3 is, the signs are different, so we subtract and take the sign of the larger number. Minus 3 plus 6 is 9. Now we have a +1 and a -9. We subtract the 2, we get 8, and take the sign of the larger number. -8 is your answer. Simplify, show your steps for credit. So 7 minus a -14 divided by 2. We need to do what's inside the parentheses first. So that's going to be 7 minus, and then 14 divided by 2 is 7, and negative divided by a positive is a negative. Now we've got these two negatives side by side, so that becomes a positive, and 7 plus 7 is 14. Aw. Yeah, give it to her. Simplify, show your steps for credit. So absolute value of 9 times -3. Remember the absolute value signs act as a parenthesis, plus 12 times -2. So I'm just going to rewrite this. Go ahead and keep it in line. All right, we have to do what's inside the absolute value first. 9 times 3 is 27. Positive times a negative is a negative. Have not gotten rid of the absolute value signs yet. 12 times 2 is 24. Positive times a negative is a negative. Absolute value of 27, -27 is positive 27. Bring down the -24. And the answer, 27 minus 24 is 3. Okay, is -11 a solution to 2x plus 3 equals -19? In order to find out, you're supposed to take that -11 and substitute it in for the x. So if you have 2x plus 3 is equal to -19, where that x is, I'm going to leave a parenthesis, and I'm going to plug in that -11. Now, all the work we do is going to be on the left-hand side, and we want to see if the left-hand side ends up equaling -19. 2 times 11 is 22. Positive times a negative is a negative. Plus 3. The signs are different, so we subtract. And that's 19. And take the sign of the larger number, negative. They are equal, and therefore, yes. But the question is -11 a solution? Yes, -11 is a solution. Oops. Next question is solve for x. So -14x plus 10 is equal to -60. So solving for x means we need to isolate x on one side by itself. 10 is currently added to it, so we need to subtract 10 from both sides. And I'm just going to bring down the -14x. These are gone, equals -60 and -10. The signs are the same, so we add them and keep the sign. And then lastly, -14 is multiplied to x, so we have to divide both sides by -14. And we get x equal to negative divided by negative is a positive, and 70 divided by 14 is 5. Okay. 4 more than 9 times an unknown number is 85. Find the unknown number. So we'll let x be the unknown number. And it's 4 more, so that's going to be 4 plus, or +4 than means it's going to be +4, 9 times an unknown number. So 9 times x is, always means equals 85. I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. 9x plus 4 is 85. All right, now we'll solve and find out what the unknown number is. Subtract 4 from both sides. 9x is equal to 85 minus 4 is 81. And then divide both sides by 9, because 9 is multiplied to the x. And x is equal to 81 divided by 9 is 9. So you could have said x is 9, or the unknown, which is more accurate, number is 9. 11. Malik's scores on his first 3 exams are 86, 75, and 67. What must Malik score on his next exam to average 70 on all 4 exams? So you need to have 4 exams added together and then divide them by 4 to get the average. So we have 86, 75, and 67. And we want the average to be 70. So we're missing what is the last, what must he receive on his last exam to get this average. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add up the numerator. 86 plus 75 plus 67 is 228 plus x, all of this is divided by 4, is equal to 70. Okay. Well, we want to get rid of the 4 first. We don't want to have to deal with that. So we're going to multiply this side by 4. And what we do to one side, we have to do the other because of this equal sign. So times 4. And these 4's reduce, and we're left with 228 plus x is equal to 70 times 4 is 280. And then just subtract 228 from both sides. And x is equal to 52. So Malik must score a 52 to receive an average of 70. I would have been fine if you just wrote Malik must score a 52 on his 4th exam. All right, evaluate 9 plus 9x divided by negative x when x is equal to -3. So everywhere there's an x, I'm going to leave a parenthesis. All right, now where those parentheses are, I'm just going to plug in -3. So order of operations, I have to multiply these first, and that's going to become 9. 9 times 3 is 27. Positive times a negative is a negative. Negative times a negative is a positive. All right, now in the numerator, not positive 9, negative 27, we have to subtract the 2, and we get 18. Take the sign of the larger number, divide by 3. 18 divided by 3 is 6, and negative divided by positive is a negative. All right, simplify, show your steps. I'm just gonna, I can't do anything for these. Can I do anything inside the parentheses? No. This one does not have a y, this one does. They're not like terms. I cannot combine them. But a negative, I can distribute this. Remember, this is like a -1 on the outside. So I have to distribute it to both terms inside of the parentheses. So negative times the negative is a positive 10, and negative times the negative is a positive 10y. Now I just need to simplify by combining like terms. I have a 10y here, plus 10y is 20y. And then I've got -6 plus 10. The signs are different, so I have to subtract them and take the sign of the larger number. You cannot combine these because they are not like terms. All right, the 3 sides of a triangle are consecutive even integers. Now, a lot of people use x for all of these. My mistake was using the word even. It should have had the word odd. But even with even, you would have gotten this, you would have used the same as this. So if we have 3 sides of a triangle and they're consecutive even integers. So that means one's x plus 2, and one is x plus 4. That is how you have to set up the consecutive even or odd. They are both the exact same thing, integers. And then they're wanting us to find the perimeter, which means we have to add up all the sides. So the perimeter would be x plus 2 plus x plus 4 equals 39. And we would need to find the lengths of the triangle. So the first thing I'm going to do is add up my like terms. There's one x, there's another x, and there's a third. So 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3x, and then 2 plus 4 is 6, equals 39. solving for x, I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. I get 3x is equal to 33. 3 is attached to x by multiplication. The opposite of that is division. We're going to divide both sides by 3. And x is equal to 33 divided by 3 is 11. So that tells me that one side, the sides of the triangle are 11 inches. I need 2 more. X plus 2 is the second one. So that's 11 plus 2 is 13. And then x plus 4 is the third. And that would be 11 plus 4 would be 15. So 13 inches and 15 inches. Right. And that was the answer for that. Lola inherits. I gave you credit if you just wrote the one, and if you gave me a sentence, you got some credits on those. The last one is Lola inherits $20,300 and decides to invest it in 2 different types of accounts. All right, so she wants a savings account. And this is our types of accounts. And then the amount will be over here. Oops, didn't leave myself enough space there. So she has a total of $20,300. She's investing in 2 different types of account, a savings account, doesn't matter about that, and a CD, certificate of deposit, doesn't matter about the interest. She decides to invest $7,300 more in the certificate of deposit. So we have her savings. Sorry for the noise. My daughter thinks she has to do dishes right now, and I'm not going to complain. And the CD is going to have $7,300 more than the savings. So savings plus $7,300. All right. So these 2 amounts add up together to give you the total. So S plus 7,300 equals 20,300. S plus S is 2S. I'm going to subtract 7,300 from both sides. 2S is equal to 13,000. And then divide both sides by 2. Not negative 2, just 2. S is equal to 6,500. So Lola invested, get your dollar sign, $6,500, $6,500 in savings into a savings account. And how much in her ACD? The CD would be the savings, which is 6,500 plus 7,300. So I'm just going to add 7,300 to this. So she invested 13,800 in a CD. And that's your answers. Let me know if you have any questions.